What kind of cliques do you think exist in high school today?
There are a ton of cliques. You could have, traditionally you've always had jocks, preps, nerds, goths, so on and so forth. It varies obviously according to generation. What is trendy, what's in, what's out. But I think it's always been something that has been a part of fabric, especially in the United States when you have mixed market economies that depend on social class. You can have various different types of groupings. But I even think if you had a system in which you had socialism or more of a centralized type of economy, you would still even have that according to interest, according to what's one's taste and preference, what's one's ideology, theology. So it varies.
And some of the cliques that exist today are some of the ones that parents grew up with, like the jocks, the popular kids, the outcasts, the nerds. I think those kind of cliques exist.
High school just has a bunch of different cliques and different groups of people.
What do you think what it takes to be in those cliques?
For the athletic cliques, you have to be in a sport and completely dedicated to that sport. To be in the popular group, you just have to honestly know the right people. And then there's cliques where they'll accept you.
The thing about the cliques is that, or cliques or groups, social groups in those various aspects, is that I think it gives you a sense of security. It allows your choices to be validated. You're not going to hang out with people who obviously don't share your same interest or habits. You're going to want to gravitate towards those who happen to share those same interests and habits. Thus, your choices become validated and you're given approval, especially I think in the formative years here in high school, middle school, high school, especially when you're trying to figure out who you are.
They just understand each other. They do things that they think would be fun. Like to me, stuff that popular people do wouldn't seem as fun, but to them it's just the best thing in the world because it's a mindset I think that goes with the cliques.
What do you have to be in those certain cliques? Like jocks, they have to have nice cars, and
be athletic,
and all that stuff. What do you think they have to have?
It's all dependent upon the clique. If you're talking about material wealth, then it depends on that specific clique. Chatfield's pretty interesting. As much as I think as a school we work well together. I think this is one of the greatest student populations in terms of philanthropy and in terms of empathy. We all seem, despite what cliques we have, reach out. Yet, an everyday thing is there are going to be specific groups. I think the key to it, though, is having maturity to be able to reach beyond that, to see those beyond those that you just hang out with. And if you're able to do that, I think it makes for a much more enriching environment.
I've never really been a fan of one to begin with because it seems like it puts labels on you. It puts unnecessary labels on you to be in a clique when you can just be yourself and not belong to a group.
They're gonna clean up your looks with all the lies in the books to make a citizen out of you. Because they sleep with a gun and keep an eye on you, son, so they can watch all the things you do. Because the drugs never work, they gonna give you a smirk, cause they got methods of keeping you clean. They gonna rip up your heads, your aspirations to shreds. Another cog in the murder machine. They said I'm teenagers scared the living shit out of me. They could care less as long as someone will bleed. So darken your clothes or strike a violent pose. Maybe it'll leave you alone when you're me.
What do you think they do in those cliques, like on their free time?
It all depends on the group because there's probably cliques that just like go out and like have a bunch of money and will go bowling or just do fun activities. There's cliques that will sit in the parking lot and won't do anything really. So it all just depends on their friends.
What type of things do you think those cliques need to be in those certain cliques?
Like a sports bond, or like just having people that are more like you. And if you like find people that are like you, then you'll be in that clique just fine.
That's fine. Would you say that having those certain things is a strong influence on those cliques?
Yes, I would. I would say it's very strong.
Just like if they have like certain cars, they're gonna be in that clique no matter what.
Yep, because typically all the preppy group and the jock group have some of the nicest cars at Chatfield, so.
I think money is definitely a big part of it. And like I said before, skill sets, like athletics or intelligence, or there's even a clique for choir. Like I think what puts you in a clique is your natural abilities and the money that you have is really what determines the clique.
Would you think like clothes and stuff that you can buy with said money?
To a point. Like I said earlier, I think it's also the mindset. For that, you have to feel like you belong there. Just wearing it is kind of an outer shell. Almost, you're not really feeling it.
Would you say that material things are one of the stronger influences on a very specific clique you and another person are in?
Yeah, I don't think it applies as much. Maybe cars would be an example that maybe works because the kids with the really nice cars are normally from a lot richer families and they feel entitled, which kind of puts them into an upper tier of a kind of pseudo clique almost of superiority, where they feel that everyone else that doesn't have nice cars or isn't entitled to a lot of money is kind of inferior to them almost.
Just like with any part of society, depends on what that society values.
Just what it values, yeah.
You know, you could have, a great quarterback in a community in which athletics isn't valued, but maybe education and money, that would make a difference. You could be in parts of Texas where, for instance, their parents keep their kids back in grade levels so that they could be bigger one time they get to high school, so that they can have more time at the varsity level, have more shot at playing varsity football or basketball, whatever it may be. They put the emphasis and the value on athletics and maybe not so much academics or arts or whatever. It depends. It's it's a Sparta versus Athens issue.
Yeah.
Do you value fighting prowess versus philosophy and academia? It varies according to what society values.